Welcome back to Blade Guide. When people talk about great fixed blades, the conversation almost always circles back to the same handful of American brands. But dig a little deeper, and there's an entirely different world of European knives that rarely gets the spotlight. Finland, Sweden, Italy, Spain, Ukraine, and beyond, each with completely different philosophies on what a fixed blade should be. Today we're skipping the usual names and counting down 10 European fixed blades that deserve way more attention. Fixed blades only. No folders sneaking onto this list. Let's get into it. And at number 10, the Cudeman ENT-158-M immediately grabs attention from anyone who appreciates purpose-built bushcraft blades. Cudeman has deep roots in Spanish knife making, and this model brings that heritage into a modern outdoor package. You're looking at a roughly 12 centimeters blade in Baller N690 Co steel with a Scandinavian grind and a micarta handle with red liners. A combination clearly built for carving and woodwork rather than display cases. The Scandi grind gives you a direct, predictable cutting geometry that's ideal for feather sticks and shaping branches, and the micarta handle keeps things secure with a more modern feel than traditional wood-handled Spanish knives. It's not built for prying or heavy chopping. And that's fine. This is a knife that respects its own purpose, which is exactly why it earns a spot to kick off this list. And at number 9, we're heading to Ukraine for the BPS Knives Adventurer CSHF, a knife with a completely different personality. Where a lot of modern fixed blades lean into synthetic materials and aggressive styling, this one goes classic: 1066 carbon steel, a Scandinavian grind, full tang construction, and a walnut handle finished with Danish oil. That traditional look sits on top of a genuinely capable working knife, built for feather sticks, tent pegs, and general camp chores. The carbon steel does mean you'll need to stay on top of moisture and maintenance, but that's a trade a lot of experienced outdoorsmen happily make for the sharpening characteristics you get in return. BPS even offers it with a leather sheath and ferro rod, giving you a setup that's ready for the campsite right out of the box. And at number 8, the EKA Nordic W11 shows off the Scandinavian talent for blending traditional looks with real outdoor functionality. This Swedish blade runs about 4.33 inches of 12C27 stainless steel, full tang construction, a convex grind, and wooden handle scales, giving you Swedish stainless corrosion resistance backed by full tang strength, wrapped in a design that looks like it belongs in a forest rather than a tactical gear catalog. The blade length hits a genuinely practical sweet spot for food prep, carving, and general camp work, and the convex grind delivers excellent cutting performance with a robust edge. It's got a timeless quality to it. This could have been made decades ago, and it still wouldn't look out of place today. Some listings show it as discontinued, so tracking one down takes a bit more effort, but that scarcity only adds to the appeal. And at number 7, the countdown takes a turn toward compact modern design with the MKM Macro 2, built around a simple idea. A fixed blade doesn't need to be huge to be useful. MKM represents the precision side of Italian knife making out of Maniago, and the Macro 2 is a knife you'll actually want to carry every day rather than just admire in a collection. Its compact size handles everyday cutting, light outdoor work, food prep, and cordage without feeling like oversized gear. And MKM offers dedicated Kydex carry setups for both belt and neck carry. The clean Italian machining gives it a refined look without unnecessary complexity, proof that if most of your cutting is about precision rather than brute force, a compact blade can genuinely outperform a bigger one. And at number 6, we're staying in Italy, but the personality flips completely with the Extrema Ratio Requiem. Where the Macro 2 is all compact refinement, the Requiem goes aggressive and tactical. A narrow, spear-like profile running about 4.5 inches of Baller N690 stainless steel across a 9.25-inch overall length. Despite the aggressive first impression, it stays manageable in hand while still carrying a serious blade presence, and the N690 steel gives it useful corrosion resistance for field conditions. Put this next to the walnut-handled BPS Adventurer from earlier on this list, and you'll see just how differently European knife makers approach the same basic tool. That range is exactly what makes exploring European knives so interesting. And at number 5, things get seriously substantial with the Fällkniven S1X, a knife that takes Fällkniven's survival philosophy and builds it into a robust, full-tang format. We're talking a 132mm blade at roughly 6mm thick, convex edge geometry, laminated cobalt steel, and a weight around 290 grams. Numbers that tell you immediately this isn't a delicate carving knife. What's genuinely interesting is the convex edge. Instead of just making the blade thicker, Fällkniven pairs serious structural strength with an edge geometry that keeps real cutting performance intact. Fällkniven has even published controlled break testing data on their knives to demonstrate structural durability, a level of engineering transparency you don't see often. The 132mm length sits in a useful middle ground too, big enough for demanding tasks, but still controllable for detail work. And at number 4, the Cudeman MT-5 is a knife that deserves way more recognition than it gets. There's nothing overcomplicated here, just a practical blade shape, solid construction, useful steel, and a sheath built for real field carry. This model has been around for years, and there's actual documented field test footage of it being used for battening, chopping, and whittling, which tells you a lot more than a spec sheet ever could. It strikes a genuinely useful balance, substantial enough to feel like a serious tool, but not so large that detail work becomes a chore. The traditional Spanish character sets it apart from the sea of modern tactical fixed blades, and its track record of real-world testing is exactly why it earns a spot this high on the list. And at number 3, we move into genuinely heavy-duty territory with the LionSteel T6, positioned between the company's M7 and T5 models for tactical, camp, and general outdoor use. We're looking at a 147.5mm blade at about 5.5mm thick, built from CPM 3V steel, a steel prized for exceptional toughness, making it a natural fit for a knife designed around demanding use. LionSteel pairs it with a solid canvas micarta handle and Kydex carry system for a genuinely professional feel. At nearly 15 centimeters of blade, it's substantial enough for serious outdoor tasks while staying more manageable than the oversized choppers that get cumbersome in the field. A real sweet spot for anyone who wants something tougher than a compact Bushcraft knife without going full chopper. And at number 2, the LionSteel Bushcraft Plus proves a knife doesn't need to be exotic to be excellent. You're getting a roughly 4.5-inch blade in 14C28N stainless steel, full-tang construction, a drop-point profile, and G10 handle scales, a combination that just makes sense for a practical outdoor knife. The 14C28N steel strikes a solid balance of corrosion resistance and edge performance, which matters a lot for a knife that's going to spend its life around wet forests and changing weather. There's nothing overloaded with unnecessary features here, just a dependable fixed blade with sensible dimensions and a comfortable handle. It's the kind of knife you actually use rather than baby. And that practicality over hype approach is exactly why it lands at number 2. And at number 1, the countdown reaches its most extreme point with the Extrema Ratio Fat Boy, one of the most robust fixed blade designs the company makes. Built around substantial dimensions and N690 steel, this isn't a knife you choose for lightweight discretion. It's about presence, about carrying something that feels like serious equipment the second you pick it up. Think about the range we've covered on this list: a Spanish Bushcraft blade, Ukrainian and Swedish outdoor designs, a compact Italian fixed blade, aggressive tactical Italian engineering, Swedish survival science, and now this, the logical endpoint of that journey. The Fat Boy doesn't try to be everything to everyone. It commits completely to being a robust, unmistakably Italian, no-compromise fixed blade, and that total commitment to purpose is exactly why it earns the top spot. And that's our full countdown of the top 10 underrated European fixed blade knives of 2026. From the purpose-built Cudeman ENT-158-M at number 10 to the unapologetically robust Extrema Ratio Fat Boy at number 1. These knives prove there's a whole world of blade craftsmanship beyond the usual American names. Which one caught your eye? Let us know in the comments below. And if this list opened your eyes to something new, hit like, subscribe, and stick around here at Blade Guide for more knife deep dives and gear breakdowns.